Hey, this is Politics with Laura, and this is going to be a bumpy ride. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Now, this is going to be a rough one, but however, I don't shy away from the rough stuff. I walk right towards it, and some of y'all don't like it, but that's okay. You don't have to like it. I'm sorry. Hey, Shauna, cafe au lait, please. Now, sorry about that. Now it's gonna be a rough one.
Didn't even finish it. Next thing you know, you turn to a big cup of coffee.
Okay. It's a rough one. It is. Now, I'm talking about illegal immigration again, but I'm putting a different twist on it. Because one thing that people never, ever, ever talk about are the people who are directly affected. They only talk about the people who are fleeing, but they never talk about the people who receive the people that are fleeing. And I think it's about time that we discuss it. Not only discuss it, let's not call names. This is a highly emotional type of conversation because it may affect someone that you may know. It may affect you. It may affect someone down the street that you may know. It's going to affect someone. But however, let's look at the people who are receiving it because they're being ignored. And their voices need to be heard too. So, all righty. Now now the question is this. Does the illegal immigration or do illegal immigration make America stronger? Or I'm sorry, does the illegal immigration make America stronger? Now, let's pay close attention to the word illegal. Just that right there. Don't go past that. Because many people have a knack for going past that one word. They skip that and go to immigration. I don't know why. Now, recently, one of my mother's aides is from Ethiopia, and sometimes she'll sit here and listen to me if I'm live streaming or even making videos earlier in a day when she's here. And she would ask me questions from time to time, and she came here legally. And she said, why are you against illegal immigration? I said, did you just listen to what you just said? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Come on. I love you too.
Can you believe that? And I don't think she heard the word ill in front of legal. And I asked her. I said, there were 11 million illegal immigrants that have come into the country in the past 3 years. And she said, 11 million? I said, yeah, illegal. They just crossed the border. We're not even talking, and I said to her, we're not even talking about the person who applied, got a visa, went through everything what they were supposed to go through to get acceptance to come in. Then she got it. Then she told me that her brother's wife and children would have been here what was it, 3 years ago, but they had to wait. And now they are coming. He did everything that he was supposed to do to have them come here. But because of the illegal immigrants coming in here and them being seen first. And then she got it. She understood it. And I told her, I'm not against immigration at all. However, I have an issue with illegal immigration. So, but it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. Let me see. Now, when you come in, if you can do a little questionnaire right there, that's just simply for me. All right. Now I have some articles to show you. And let me see, which one do I want to? Okay, this is the hot topic because right now, the Mexican president, what is his name? President Andres Lopez Obrador, he is having a battle with Governor Abbott of Texas because Governor Abbott is like, look, okay, this has to stop. Joe Biden, you're not doing anything at all to stop the massive flow of people coming through. And they are. They're just coming, just walking across. Got your bag. Got this. Walking across. No issues at all. Then you go and say, okay, I'm coming here because it's dangerous in my country. There are gangs. There's crime. And I can't find a job, and I'm seeking asylum. That sounds like the United States. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and show my so it's where is it here? So let's just simply take a look at this right here. Now, Texas governor, Texas challenges Joe Biden by passing the toughest state law on illegal immigration. And let's pay attention to illegal. Everybody, they sort of forget the first two letters and then but okay. Now here, now this, we're not even looking at the cost. So, and I'm going to get to that. Migrants who cross the United States into Texas from Mexico illegally, and keep in mind, illegally, will be arrested. Now, if you come here illegally, right there is a crime. And people like to overlook that. So they come here wrong to begin with. They come here breaking the law. Now, a friend of mine from Honduras said people from El Salvador just can't cross over. Like, no, they can't do that. But now everybody's coming through to the United States. So like, okay, just go ahead and go. Make sure you sign your name in. In Mexico, you got to sign in. They got to know they have to know who you are. But when it comes to the United States, oh, well, you don't need to know who I, no. Okay. But all right. Okay. We'll be arrested by the police from March as the state tests a ruling from the ban from running its own immigration policy. And I believe that Texas has a right to have its own immigration policy. It should. It has its own individual constitution. So by Texas having its own constitution, and people, please okay, let me make sure that we all understand this, because I don't think many people really get this. The United States has one federal constitution. We the people. But people sort of forget that each state has its own individual constitution. So really, two constitutions for each state. Their individual one and a federal one. Now we know that. So now we're on the same page. So, so, um, so, so he has a right to do that and have its own immigration policy. Now, Abbott, the Republican Texas governor, approves. I'm sorry, approved new powers for state police to step in to law enforcement against illegal migrants. Migrants, and will empower local judges to force them to leave the country. Now, other countries, okay, now this right here is where the hypocrisy comes to play. Now, this is where the hypocrisy comes to play. Is that now, if it were another country and this were to happen, you're like, yeah, go ahead. You don't come here and do that. But since it's the United States and United States is known for everyone coming here, now it's a completely different standard. And that's unfortunate, but true. It's unfortunate. Okay. Now, this is the furthest. Okay, where was I? Okay, immigration department. Okay, and it's the furthest the individual state that has gone to tackle it's the first state to go ahead and tackle this situation because Joe Biden is not doing anything. What Joe Biden is doing is political. And as long as he brings in as many people as he can and say, make sure you vote Democrat. And if you just look around at your local areas and you start seeing them change the laws, pay attention to city council. They affect you. Federal government doesn't affect you as quickly as local government. Look at what your mayor is doing. Look at what your city council is doing and see how that affects you. Because in big cities, all of a sudden, you don't need to be a citizen to vote in local elections. That's out the door. That makes you want to look at your local, your state constitution and see how they're breaking and bending the rules. Because Democrats, yes, I'm going to say Democrats, are doing whatever they can to stay in power. This is the power grab. Now we, the people, have to be we really got to pay close attention to this because our rights are being stomped all over to bring in people for political just okay. So Mr. Abbott said the law would lead to a reduction in illegal migrants up to 70%. Now that right there is going to be because look, Texas has had this problem for a long time, and many governors were too afraid to do anything about it because if they did, then they would not get voted in. But now it's to the point to where now you have legal immigrants that came here legally are like, nah, this is ridiculous. Look at Florida. DeSantis. The people who voted, most of them are legal migrants that came here legally and their families that were born here look at it different. Okay, yeah, we came here legally, but this is ridiculous. They wouldn't even send the illegal immigrants to Florida because the Floridians said no. Go to Florida. Go to Louisiana, go to New York City, but not here. Shauna, are you cooking something? No. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I heard. Okay. Up to 70%. The crisis, Joe Biden criticized Joe Biden for failing to implement a new measure stem to flow the migrants on the south of the border. And it's not even bringing up anything new. Why not just enforce the laws that already exist? Try that. And then if that doesn't work, then try something new. But I have my own thoughts, and I'm gonna leave that for another live stream. Yeah. Let me see. Do I have any? Nope, no questions. Okay. So now this right here. Oh man. Okay, this right here. I have a million questions. A million. Now, okay, I'll save that for some other time. Okay, Miss, and this right here, this picture right here is hangs on people's heartstrings, and it is manipulative. It yes, it's manipulating people's emotions, and that is not a good thing to do. That needs to stop. Okay, this summer saw a record number of migrant families cross into the U.S. from Mexico, forcing the White House to consider major concessions on border security. It took you that long, Biden? Yeah. Okay, in 2023, almost 2.5 million people um, had been found to be illegally crossed the Southwest land border by the end of September, according to official figures. So the last I count, that's 11 million people since Joe Biden has been president that is here illegally. We're not even talking about the people who are here legally. Legally, they got their visas, got acceptance, got their green cards, got all that, got their work permits. Not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who came here illegally, who don't even have an ID, have no way to say, my name is Laura. Nothing, for the most part. Okay, so found illegally across the southwest border in September, according to official figures released by the Customs and Border Protection. Now, let's get to the other part. And I think the other part is very important because many people do not want to talk about it. They don't. Now, how does the cost? The cost. All righty. Which one do I want to do? Okay. All right. This is going to be a tough one. It is. Okay, where's it at? Okay, here it is, right in front of my eyes. All right. Shocking cost of illegal immigration crisis in America. Now, let's look at these numbers. Okay. Illegal immigrants now cost taxpayer billions of dollars every year. Not only that, but also health insurance. I'm not even going to get into the Mexican drug cartels. I'm not even going to do it because that's not where I'm focused. When the federal government fails to secure our borders and jeopardize the national security, the responsibility falls on the states to protect themselves. And that right there is what Governor Abbott is doing, protecting the state, protecting the state of Texas, because the federal government is not doing it because the federal government caused it. Now, as a record number of illegal aliens, and that right there is a legal term. The correct term is illegal aliens. And those of you who have come here and you have a green card, which I don't know why they call it a green card because it's pink. It has legal alien, and then underneath the picture and all that, and a number. So illegal aliens continue to flood across our southern borders. And let's go ahead and get into the dollars. Let's simply get into the money. Okay, wait a minute. Let's get into the dollars and cents, because we got to stop talking about, we should stop talking about how people feel. Okay, I get how you feel. Now let's talk about how you feel, but how much does how you cost? And do other people want to pay for how you feel, and it costs all the taxpayers money? Okay, let's go ahead and watch. Let's just take a look at this. Okay, annually, illegal immigrants now cost taxpayers billions of dollars a year. This is simply a year. Now, for instance, in states far away from the southern borders like Illinois, that cost 4.5 billion in 2022. Man, you got to look at Chicago. Chicago is the epicenter of all of this, what's going on there. And it's spread out throughout Illinois. Now, this is $930 per household. Now, they say every year, more than that. They're being quite, how can I say, conservative with the numbers. And I'm shocked by that. The far-reaching effect of the influx throughout the southern border are clear. Our communities bear the cost of illegal migration caused by the Biden administration anti-enforcement and open border policy. So here, the border communities have long been overwhelmed under these policies. The crisis now, the California 12.76 billion, Texas 8.88 billion. Education, you gotta education. So people need education, not only their children, but also the parents, because most of the parents do not speak English. Now, let me big stream myself. Look. One of the prerequisites, just in my thinking, would be this: before you go to any country, you should at least, the bare bone minimum, speak the language. That will cut through a whole lot right there. You speak the language. Now, when you have the mindset that you're going to go to to a new country, you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to have the North American dream, and when you get there, you realize you don't even speak English. I should have used my sound effect on that one. I should have. So the education, healthcare, oh my goodness, law enforcement, criminal justice system costs, welfare expenditures. I mean, it goes on and on. And the criminal justice system, I got something that's gonna flip your wig. Okay. The border states are often subjected to shocking reports of epidemics of violent attacks. Taxpayer fit the bill, footing the bill for illegal aliens to health care, and even okay, I challenge you to do one thing. Just this one thing. Go to your local welfare office and ask for an application. If not, go online and look. I did. I looked. And it was quite eye-opening. Eye-opening. The amount of money that we're pouring in. And I realized something. They're cutting back on my health care to where certain things they're not doing because of the cost. They can no longer afford it. You got 11 million people come up in here, and they didn't bring money with them. No, they had no money. They come here looking for money. So when they come here, They have no money. So now we, the taxpayers, have to take our money to give it to them, to give them a fresh start, because it never occurred to them to get, or at least to do the bare bone minimum, to have at least a 2-year college education, if not trade school, plus learning the language. That puts them so far back. Oh man, okay. Epidemic and illegal aliens, healthcare costs, increased property destruction. Oh my goodness. However, and then it goes back to my question. Where's my question at? Does illegal aliens make America stronger? Keep that thought in mind. Okay, and however, there's more to the story. Considering the droves of illegal aliens, the government is selling throughout the country, and the sheer number already in the interior of the United States estimated. Oh, I'm sorry, I was completely wrong. I'm saying 11 million. No, 15.5 million in 2021. Consider few examples of specific, ever increasing costs, communities, and states all across the nation. So, my bad, 15 million. I was 4 million short. My bad. Now, at the rate of $65,116 per alien per person, the New York City Mayor Adams estimates the city will need to spend 2.8 billion, and that's just in New York City. We're not talking about New York State, New York City, on the next fiscal year to deal with the rapid influx. In 2023, New Jersey will spend 15 million just to provide health care benefits to illegal alien children. Now, that's why I brought this picture up. I brought this picture up because it pulls at your heartstrings. You're going to feel bad. I mean, look at this. Look at that. I showed that earlier for a reason. You look at that kid, you look at the mother. It seems like the father is holding up that child and they're coming across the water. But that's a manipulation tactic. This is all political. Oh man, wait until they realize. Oh man, you won't. You illegal aliens don't know what you got yourself into. Okay, and as September 2022, Operation Lone Star, a statewide effort by Texas to decrease illegal crossing and cracking down on human, um, a human, and I have to be careful of the algorithm. Um, Street traffic. Okay. Had cost Texas over 4 billion, the average about 22 million per week. In July 2022, Colorado. Now, who knew Colorado had illegal migrants there? Now, in July 2022, Colorado was on a track to spending 12 million per year in state. But oh my. Okay. For local benefits, professional licensing and business permits for illegal aliens. And I got to come back to that because Colorado is quite interesting, and the way they treat Indians and Black people, it's like they don't have anything at all. as far as business and entrepreneurship, but they're throwing all this business and entrepreneurship out. I'm going to come back to that some other time. Some of these states have some really funny style stuff going on. But in March, Oregon passed a legislation establishing the Universal Representation Representing Fund, providing 15 million for free legal services and representing for illegal aliens primarily facing deportation. So you know exactly that they are a democratic place, and they're trying. And like I said earlier, it is political, and they're doing their very best. Say, hey, you come in, we'll give you tax money, we'll give you all this free stuff. You don't have to worry about working yet. We'll give you a little time to learn English. We'll give you maybe about a year or two. And then from there, then we're going to let you go out and then you'll learn English and then you can get a job. But you got to vote Democrat. All right. Okay, I'm going to let that one go. So there is a lot of issues there. Now, here's another thing that we really need to look into. Now we looked at the money and how much it will cost taxpayers, billions of dollars. And just it was quite interesting, 2.8 billion just in New York City alone. That wow. Okay. Now here, this is the one I want to show you. This is really going to take you aback. Now, those of you say, "Well, I feel that we should because, people are having difficulties." Well, yeah, everyone has difficulties. And then if you really get someone who comes here illegally and when they see how tough it is, oh, all right. Okay. Now here, you're like, Laura, what is this? Okay, I'm getting ready to show you. This right here is migration consequences of Maryland's offenses. All right. Okay, this chart attempts to capture and convey the information in ever-changing and complicated area to law of law of the law. I'm sorry. It can be a useful tool, but will not be substituted for the contemporaneous research that we that is specific to your individual cases. Now, okay, we see that. We talk about migration, consult and immigration practitioners for the case specific advice and representing the migrants. Okay, we got that. Now, let's look at this. Oh, now this is where they do some tap dancing, big time tap dancing in Maryland. And I see it when I travel. Okay. Probation before judgment in Maryland is a conviction. Now, okay, suspended sentence for count for immigration purposes as full sentence in incarceration. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, now here. Now the accessory after the fact. Now, if sentence 1 year, okay, not a controlled substance offense, likely there, there was no rug use. You know what I mean? You know where to put the D involved, right? Okay, the key is 1 year to avoid aggravated felony. This is a good alternative plea. In some circumstances, accessory after the fact can be a good alternative plea to avoid an aggravated felony or controlled substances. Okay. Now, here you have stuff like red rum. And let's look at this aggravated felony if the crime involves a moral turpitude. You see no yes, no nothing over here, just all yes, yes, yes over here. Here you have second degree red rum, you have attempted red rum, first degree. Now, look at this. Red rum attempt second degree. Okay, and man, slaughter. When possible, plead specific to involuntarily to keep sentence less than a year to avoid aggravated felony. So what they're doing, no matter what's done, they're doing everything to ensure that they do not get prosecuted the way they should. So if you come here, you have two laws as an immigrant. You have the US law, and then you have immigration law. Now, the immigration law means that you have to be a good citizen. You come here, you come here and we invited you in as our guest. Now, just by that, you should not commit any crimes at all because you are our guest. But however, things happen, people happen, they do things. Now, as you see, they are doing certain things to keep them from, paying their debt for what they have done and knowing, signing on a dotted line that they were going to, be a good citizen. All right. Now here, manslaughter with a vehicle, cause of termination by another vehicle, and they already have this stuff planned out. Let me see, when was this? This was done right in the middle of it, right in the beginning phases of it. They have updated it. They knew it was getting ready to happen. Okay. And here, everything what they're trying to do is to avoid aggravated felonies. Okay, here, manslaughter could avoid, and CIT. What does CITM mean? Oh my goodness, I just saw it. Consult an immigration. Oh, that's not what it means. Oh my goodness. Okay, somewhere in there. Wait a minute. All right. So as you see, now you have states that are bending over backwards for them to not do time for when they behave in a manner in which they are not supposed to behave. I mean, I find this outrageous. Okay. Now, this is the last one that I'm going to talk about. I'm going to try to not let this drag on. No. Okay, now this. Okay, this goes in another direction. I shouldn't have added this. So, now going through all that, what are your thoughts? Because keep in mind that when people are fleeing from their land for whatever reason, and then they come, the United States. Keep in mind that when you come here, and we only have limited resources to begin with, it's very tough. I mean, we just simply do not have enough. And sorry to say that, but it really is. Now, what do we do about other countries? Now, my thought is this: the United States gives over 160 countries money every year. I did a video on that. I think maybe about 4 months ago. And it shows how much the United States gives Mexico, the United States gives El Salvador. They even give money to Iran. All the African countries get money. They get several hundreds of millions of dollars. So everyone that I have spoken to, every last one of them that I have spoken to. Now, I said before that my ex-husband is from Nicaragua. When he fled, there was a war back in the 80s. That was devastating. And just to watch what my ex-husband been through, horrifying, horrifying what occurred. That money, and a lot of you do this because my ex-husband and I, we were doing, oh man, we would take money that we worked for, tax money. Keep this in mind. When you are here and you take money and you send it out of the country, that money no longer circulates here. So that money is no longer in play. And it only drains the United States even more because we give the countries money. Now, my thing is this. Those of you who come here, you didn't want to fight for your rights in your country, but you come here and all of a sudden you got all this. You should have had all that fire to get that money while you were in your country. You're going to say, Laura, Politics with Laura, you're mean. No, I'm not mean. You're being disingenuous. And how can I say, I'm going to put it like this. You're being two-faced. You are. You're being two-faced because maybe wrong word. But you would not fight with your government. You wouldn't fight with your governors. You wouldn't fight with your mayors. You wouldn't fight with your city council people. You wouldn't fight with any of those people in order to get the money that was given to trickle down to you. But then you come and then you take the money here and then you send it. Come on, that's not fair to us. That isn't fair to us at all. Especially, I can't get a lot of the resources that I used to have. I no longer have full access to it. And now, even in Chicago, now this right here really tripped me out. Chicago, in the northern part of Chicago, the immigrants up there, the legal immigrants who came here legally are like, no, go back, go work out your own problems back there. No, sorry. And these were people from all walks of life. You had a woman from China, barely spoke English, and she was like, go back home. We're sorry you have your problems, but we are the immigrants that the United States was talking about. Us. We came here legally, not you. Hey, look it up for yourself. Because now the immigrants that came here legally, that been here for a while, are tired of what's going on. But on that note, I know many of you are going to be upset, but that is okay. We need to have this conversation. We need to talk about it. And we need to find some kind of way to where the United States is not going to be destroyed from within based on this. And yes, destroyed is a kind of a rough word. I know it is, but what's going on is rough. It's rough what they are doing. And Democrats, you need to stop. You need to stop. Instead of destroying this whole country, saying, well, if I can't be in office, I'm going to make sure no one's in office. That's what you're doing. That is what you're doing. But on that note, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, share. And I want to thank you. Bye-bye.